Good evening and welcome to episode 2 of CricWit What's Your CQ. In episode 1, we promised you that we will test your CQ. What is CQ, you ask? It is cricket quotient. And we know about an IQ and EQ, as I've said earlier. But here at Cherry and Timber Talk, we are going to combine these two because that is what it is all about for cricket fans and cricket lovers. Whether you're working around the game or not, we all love the game in the same measure. And in that regard, today I've got three new contestants who have taken up our challenge of testing their CQ and seeing as to who emerges on top. Now, yes, you can like, you can subscribe to our channel on Facebook and on YouTube. Join in the quiz. I will be also asking you questions in the audience round so that you can have a chance to come on this show and test your CQ. But before we get going, let me first introduce today's contestants. I've got with me Siddharth Gulati, all the way from Delhi. Hi, Siddharth. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, Nishad?
All good, all good. It's been great. And since I can test your CQ, I'm happier than ever. And then I've got with me right here, it's Bhash, all the way from Ahmedabad. How are you, Bhash?
Hi, Nishad. I'm good. I'm doing good.
And yes, he's got a cricketing name as well, Bhash Mankad. And we all know about our great all-rounder, Vinu Mankad as well. So, Bhash, any relation?
Yes, my grandfather's first cousin. So they had a ancestral house in Jamnagar. So my grandfather's first cousin. Yeah.
That's good. So we've got some cricketing pedigree here today. And yes, we've got from Pune, Manish right there. Hi, Manish. How are you doing?
Hey, Nishad. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
All good. Thank you all. And gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this quiz. Again, for the viewers and for your benefit, let me explain how this quiz is going to pan out. There are 30 questions. And in these 30 questions, we have divided them into 3 phases. All questions, you get 4 options. And also, there's a time limit. Now, we know how it's going to how the quiz is going to take place is that the question is going to appear on screen with the options. And you have to look into your Kahoot app on the phone and answer accordingly.
Yes.
So the faster you answer, the more points you get. The first power play is 15 questions. And as we know, since it's a power play, you will get a few maybe opportunities to clear the gaps, maybe go a little bit over the top, a few good points here and there. And then we come to power play 2, which is the middle overs, from question number 16 to question number 25, and that is when you just want to knock it around, take a few singles and consolidate your positions. But the last phase, that is the 5 questions, you get double the points because those are the slog overs, and the faster you answer yes, the more power, the more points you get. Vishwaraj Jadeja, who's an ice skater, represents India, joins us live, and he's saying hi to Bhash. You've got wishes from Vishwaraj.
From Ahmedabad. We are friends, and he's from my
Oh,
school.
that's great. Small world. He's a very dear friend of mine as well. So, and yes, I must say an absolute champion sportsman for India. Now, and then in the slog overs, you get to maximize your points. So get ready for that. I hope we all are set. But before we start, I'm going to bring in the winner from the first episode so that he can maybe give you a few tips and declare the show open because I think he deserves that sort of an honor. So here he goes, all the way from London is Yogesh. Welcome, Yogesh.
Hi, Yogesh.
Oh, good to see you guys. I hope you all are enjoying. I'm sure with the cricket Quizmaster Nishad Ved, you'll have a lot of fun. He'll test your CQ, but you'll have fun in along the journey. I just thought, I'll probably wish you all good luck. I've seen your responses in the previous quiz, and you guys were great, and that is probably the reason why you're here. Now, I think, selfishly speaking, I would have loved to be on the quiz and, compete with you all. But I think it is only just that the honor is passed on to the next set of contestants. So wish you all the luck. And Nishad, should I say play? Is the start of power play 1?
Absolutely. Thank you, Yogesh. And yes, we will start power play 1 and we shall get going, gentlemen. Now I shall be sharing my screen so that you can see the questions. Audience, you too can. And at the end of power play 1, I will ask you questions in the audience so that you can have an opportunity to be a part of this quiz. So yes, let me just share my screen. There we go, gentlemen. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Here we go. Start. CricWit episode 2. How many T20 internationals has Sachin Tendulkar played? The answer is only one. That was against South Africa in 2006. And as we know, he then didn't play for India at the World T20 the following year. So Sachin Tendulkar played only one T20 international for India. Guys, you remember who the captain was?
Virendra Sehwag.
That's right. Virender Sehwag. Sehwag was the captain on that occasion. Rahul Dravid was the captain for the tour, but he got injured during one of the ODIs.
And Sehwag also captained in the last ODI of that series. The series that India lost, I think 4-0 maybe.
4-0, and the T20 international was sandwiched between ODI number 4 and 5.
Yes.
But I think a lot of the purists will remember the Johannesburg test.
That India won, yeah.
That's
Exactly.
Nishan's finest moment.
So we've got the scores now. These are just early days, neck and neck as far as Siddharth and Bhash are concerned. Manish playing out a dot ball, but I'm sure he'll get going soon. Ready for the next one, guys?
Oh, yes.
Let's go. Question number 2. Who scored the first ever T20 international century? First ever T20 international century. Chris Gayle is the answer. He got a 117. This was against South Africa in the opening game of the 2007 ICC World T20. Herschel Gibbs, in fact, scored around 80 or 90 for South Africa during their successful run chase.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Anyone remember watching that game?
Yeah. It was the first ever game of the T20 World Cup at 2007. Yeah. I think that the West Indies scored a 200 plus in that game.
True. That's very true. Now, moving on to question number 3. Ready?
Yeah.
Question number 3. Where did Virender Sehwag get his second test triple century? We know he's got 2. We know where he got the first one. That was in Pakistan and Multan. Where did he get the second one? That's a picture from that game. There may also be a slight hint in that picture. That's all I'm going to say. It is MA Chidambaram Stadium. If you saw the picture, let me show you the picture. Here you can see a Chennai Super Kings ad. This was before the IPL 2008.
Yeah.
And as we know, in Multan, he had gotten into a triple century with a 6. But here it was a simple single knocked down to the leg side. Right, Siddharth and Bhash have taken a lead. Manish, come on. We want you to get going. You did very well in our practice round quiz, which was very fast. So that was really, that tells you, you've got all the knowledge. Come on, we got to get you going as well soon. Right, question number 4. Who gave Sachin Tendulkar out leg before when he ducked into a bouncer in that famous game? We call it shoulder before wicket. Who was the umpire who still says it was out? The picture is from that game, as you can see. Only one person got it right. It was Darrell Harper. I'm quite surprised. A lot of people have not answered Steve Buckner because everyone thinks that all the wrong decisions against Tendulkar would come from that umpire. But that's not true.
That was Brisbane, Steve Buckner, that he gave him out wrongly.
That's right. It was at Brisbane, and it was during the 2003 tour, in fact, where he shouldered arms to a delivery, and it was really high.
Yeah.
Right.
And Ganguly's knocked in test was in that match.
Yeah, it was So anyway, let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
What was Sir Don Bradman's day job during a major part of his international career? I thought in the power play you should have one googly or a yorker as well. Day job. Oh, nobody got it right. He was a stockbroker. He worked in real estate before he played for Australia, and then for a long time he was a stockbroker. So no one gets points for
I
this.
read something about real estate, so that's why I went with yes, but
He was employed in real estate for some time, but during a major part of his career, he was a stockbroker. In fact, just before around his Australia debut, he left real estate and then he became a stockbroker in Adelaide. He had to move. He had to go to Adelaide because then he could play for South Australia and then move on to play for Australia.
That's a great question, actually. I must say, Nishad.
Very good question.
Great research. Yeah. Great research.
Now we'll move on to the next question. Complete this sequence. So Don Bradman, Brian Lara, Virender Sehwag, and who's number 4 in this list? Oh, how can everyone miss it? It is Chris Gayle. People who have got 2 triple centuries in Test cricket.
so Sangakkara has only
I just
one.
went by the order. Yeah.
So it is 2 triple centuries in Test cricket. Sehwag would have gotten a third one. He got out for 293.
293 in the Mumbai game against Sri Lanka in 2009. I guess.
I still remember I was watching that game and day 2 was an absolute pleasure to watch him. He finished the day on 284, 285. Next day morning, going to the ground, me and my friend, we were stuck in traffic. So we got down in the middle of traffic, ran to the railway station so that we can get to the ground in time. We got to the ground in time. He knocked around a few singles and then he got out on 293. It still hurts.
That was at Brabant, right? The only test in a while played at Brabant.
Yes.
Yes, so they played a test match at in 1972-73, and then later in 2009, when the Wankhede was being made ready for the World Cup, is when they played a test match at Brabant Stadium. Right? No one got this correct. Let's move ahead. Question number 7. During his 6-4 against Bangladesh in the 2003 World Cup, how many wickets did Chaminda Vas take during his first over? This is a picture from that game, and we all remember he got 6 wickets in that match. How many did he get in that first over? The answer is 4.
4.
He got 4 wickets in the first over, 3 of the first 3 balls, and then I think it was Sanwar Hussain who came on to bat, and he hit a 4. There was a wide, and then he was out. He was
on the,
out.
I think, penultimate or the last ball.
Yes, he was out, and it was a difficult game for Bangladesh. And also, I must tell you, it was on Valentine's Day 2003, but not a lot of love from Chaminda Vas for the Bangladeshi batsman.
Yeah.
Right? Only Siddharth got that correct. Let's move on. Question number 8. Who picked the last wicket for India during the 1983 World Cup final? Last wicket for India, as you can see, Indians running off the field after that memorable victory. Everyone got it right. Mohinder Amarnath, and as we know, it was Michael Holding who was out leg before. Do you know what happened to the ball after he was out leg before? Can any of you guess it? So the ball hit Michael Holding, it locked off its pad and it went to gully where Sunil Gavaskar was standing. Gavaskar picked up the ball, put it in his pocket and ran to the pavilion. So he's got the ball that won India the 1983 World Cup.
That's nice. That's brilliant, actually. This is something
And
that
if
I'm
you,
sure probably not many people would know about it.
yeah. And if you actually look at the footage, Mohinder Amarnath ran towards the stump, but he couldn't get hold of the stumps. So he just got a bail in his hand and he went off the field. The other players managed to get the stumps. Right. So we've got Manish has opened his account, and I'm sure it's going to be a good streak for him from now onwards. Here are the scores. We are moving ahead to question number 9. How many centuries did Rohit Sharma score during the 2019 World Cup? It's a record. No batsman has done it before. Everyone got that right again. It is 5 centuries. And I must also tell you that I had the privilege of watching all 5 of them live in England.
Damn.
Nice.
Jealous.
Lovely.
Beautiful batting.
Yes.
Beautiful batting.
Any innings of Rohit is a joy to watch. So it's, whether it be a century, when he's in full flow, he's by far the best to watch visually.
Exactly. Lot of elegance in the way he plays. We are getting a lot of answers from the audience as well. Most of them getting them right with 5. So yes, we've got these are the scores. Manish picking up as well. Siddharth having a streak of 3 answers. Bhash is on top right now. Question number 10. Identify this cricketer receiving the Colonel C.K. Naidu Award, which is awarded by the BCCI. You get extra time for this answer as well. Who's this cricketer getting the award? Colonel C.K. Naidu Award, which is awarded as a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's right, it is Salim Durrani.
Salim Durrani.
Salim Durrani, who, as we know, played in the 70s, 60s, and 70s for India. A gem of a human being known as the Prince. And of course, as we know, he took those crucial wickets for India in the 1971 Trinidad Test. Also, on record, the only Indian Test cricketer born in Afghanistan. And Bhash, as you may know, he lives in Jamnagar at the moment.
I live in Jamnagar. Yes, I'm aware of
Let's
that.
move on to the next question. Question number 11. During the Mirpur Test against Bangladesh in 2007, India achieved this record. If you'll remember that game,
Yes.
significant game for India after the 2007 World Cup. This is a picture of the Indian team after they won that series. The top 4 batsmen all scored centuries for India. It was Wasim Jafar, Dinesh Karthik. They
Dinesh
retired
Karthik,
hurt,
yeah.
and then Rahul Dravid came on. Rahul Dravid and then Sachin Tendulkar came on. They got centuries. India's first wicket fell at the score of 408. And it was Rahul Dravid. Dinesh Karthik returned then to complete his innings. All of them got
Yes.
centuries. India won the game easily thanks to a spell by Zahir Khan later.
Yes.
Right? Let's move to the next question. Siddharth having a good streak. Question number 12. Brett Lee, Shane Lee, Richard Cheekwee, Kevin Robertson and Brad McNamara formed a band of this name. This is a musical band. All of them are first-class cricketers. 2 of them are, of course, international cricketers in Shane Lee and Brett Lee. 6 and Out is the right answer. In fact, Can't Bowl, Can't Throw is one of their songs. And does anyone know what that song is inspired by?
No clue.
So what happened was there was a player called Scott Muller who made his debut with Adam Gilchrist against Pakistan in 1999. And during one of the passages of play, he picked up the ball and threw, and it was a wild throw from the deep. And on the Channel 9 live telecast, there was a sound fought which said, "Can't bowl, can't throw." And to this date, it is not exactly clear who said that. But it unfortunately caused a lot of damage to Scott Muller, who didn't play for Australia for long after that.
Okay.
But they decided to make a song out of it. Manish
think
got
Mahesh-
that right.
Yeah, Mahesh just said that Nishad is an encyclopedia. I would agree. I would definitely
Coming
agree.
out to get yeah.
Okay, that's a very kind name. I've been called a lot for my cricket knowledge. Quite a lot, yeah. Right. Question number 13. For a period of time, Australia's Andrew Symonds was eligible to represent this country. He was very close to representing this country because he's got a passport of that country. Only one person got it right. It is England.
Birmingham. He was born in Birmingham.
He was born in Birmingham, adopted by school teachers, and they traveled to Australia. Simons was playing for Gloucestershire and hit a record 17, I think 16 or 17 sixes in one of the county games. And he was picked by England for an England A side. But he said he wanted to play for Australia.
Yes.
Moving on to question number 14. Alistair Cook has bagged only one test wicket. Who was the batsman? All Indian bowlers, although Jadeja, I must say, is an all-rounder. Ishant Sharma, yes. Remember how he got him out?
Yeah, I think bowled a delivery outside. Outside leg stump, and then Ishant tried to flick it, and I think who was the wicket keeper? I guess Matt Pryor.
Yes, it was Matt Pryor. Yeah. That's right. And if you remember, Alistair Cook was just fooling around, having a good time, trying out different bowling actions, and he got this guy out.
Yes.
Right. Last question of Power Play 1. Audience, I'm then coming to you. So let's go ahead with the last question of Power Play 1. Ravi Shastri captained India in only one test match. What is that game famously known for? A game that is famous for this one thing. You got it right. It is Narendra Hirwani's 16 wickets on test debut.
Wickets, yeah.
That is the only test match Ravi Shastri has captained India in. And it was against West Indies at Chennai. The captain during Javagal Srinath's test debut and Tendulkar's first test century and Graham Gooch's 333 and 123 was Mohammad Azharuddin. Right. Manish is coming up in the charts. We've got Bhash and Siddharth. Now that was the end of Power Play 1, right? I think 15 questions are over here. So we shall now go to the audience to ask them questions. Let me take this. Let me put question number 1 for them on screen so you can answer. Audience, I will announce the answers at the end of the quiz. So let me first ask question number 1. By how many runs did India lose the Chennai Test versus Pakistan in 1999? As you remember, it was discussed in Cherry and Timber Talk, episode number 10, just before this. Right. Now, let us move on to question number 2. It will appear on your screen right now. We all know Saqlain Mushtaq got the wicket of Sachin Tendulkar in the 1999 Test when he scored 136. Who was the fielder who caught the ball? And then, as we know, India sadly collapsed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone on my screen remembering it with a smile, a painful smile, if I may add.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. It is still hurt.
Coming to sum that up very well. We're getting quite a few answers as well. And yes, now let us go for question number 3. Sunil Gavaskar got a memorable double century against England in the 4th innings during the 1979 tour. An absolute gem, an absolute master of a batsman. At which venue did that happen?
I think it was during that it was during that same series. I think he had on the eve of the test, he had a chat with Mike Brearley, and he told him that probably I'm not getting a big score in this series.
In
And
fact, he
that
told him. In fact, he just told him that I've missed doing something on this England
yes,
trip.
yes,
And Mike
yes.
Brearley thought that Gavaskar is talking about some shopping or
That's
sightseeing.
the
He's
side
talking
scene and all. Yes.
about the double hundred. We had Devendra Prabhudesai, who is the biographer of Mr. Gavaskar. He mentioned that fact in one of those interviews. Getting a lot of answers. Well done, audience. Thank you for your participation. 3 more questions coming up for you. And right now, I will have Mahesh joining in because Mahesh stood second in quiz number 1 of CricWit. Mahesh, your tips for the participants as they get into the middle overs.
Anyway, there's a correction, Nishad. Venu stood second, so don't rob him of his silver medal. He might feel very offended.
Oh, okay. But you remember, like many times, as it was a dialogue in Three Idiots. Who's first? You remember? Second, कौन आया याद नहीं रहता.
Correct. Okay, I think Bhash and Siddharth. I think this quiz is going down to the wire. I just posted the same thing. This is fantastic quizzing. I mean, I think both of them are neck and neck. I'm sure Manish is going to catch up with them very soon. He's still got 15 questions to go. Manish, wait for the slog overs. You're getting double points there. Okay, don't leave these guys. Give them a fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure you get it. Okay. So all the best, guys. Go for it.
Thank you.
This is Power Play 2, and thank you, Mahesh, for bringing on Power Play 2. We will go ahead, gentlemen. Here we go. Question number 16. Who was Ajanta Mendes' employer? He played cricket for them. A mystery bowler troubled a lot of Indian batsmen in the initial phase. That is the correct answer. It is the Sri Lankan Army. He represented Sri Lankan Army, and that's how he was picked. Bhash and Manish getting that right. Manish, you're doing very well at the moment. Now, let us move on. Now, before that, I mean, your memories of Ajanta Mendes, I'm sure, it was something that...
Oh, then.
Horror memory of him taking 6
The Asia
wickets in
Cup
the final against India.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that was before India played so much of Ajanta Mendes, but they were also the first ones to figure him out.
Sehwag, actually, the credit should go to Sehwag in that Candy test.
It was at Gaul.
The way he batted.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Gaul. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But the way he batted against him, it was a terrific knock.
Absolutely. Let us move ahead. Question number 17. Who was the last batsman out in the second tight test played at Chennai in 1986? Alan Border on screen, who was the captain of the Australian team in that famous test match. Maninder Singh is the answer. Shivlal Yadav was the penultimate batsman who was out, and Ravi Shastri was the non-striker. Maninder Singh, as again we say, he was actually LBW bowled. A lot of people say by umpire Vikram Raju and not by Greg Matthews, the Australian bowler. Again, Manish coming up the points. Bhash leading the pack with 13,707 points. Siddharth is second with 10,100 points. And Manish has made a remarkable recovery with 6,655. Manish, is that now a Yuvraj and KF partnership that you are building over there?
It takes time, but it will come out very well.
That's the kind of spirit that we want to see. Moving on to the next question. Question number 18. Derek Pringle's father, Don, also featured in a Cricket World Cup. Which team did he play for? Here are the options. The pictures of the 1992 England team. As you can see, the tallest of the lot is Derek Pringle. His father played in one World Cup for this team. Which was it? All of you got it right. It is East Africa. Sadly, Don Pringle died a few months after the World Cup in a car crash. And Then later, Derek Pringle moved back to England and, of course, made up a cricketing career, a good cricketing career for England. Yes, that's right. Now, that looks like a very good scoreboard. I'm enjoying this. This is a really good contest. Question number 19. Which is the only pair of identical twins to play Test cricket? Identical twins. Only one person got it right. It is James and Hamish Marshall.
Hamish Marshall, yeah.
Kyle and Shea Hope are not twins. Kyle Hope is the elder one. Only Manish getting it right. Guys, you've got a Mohammad Kaif and Yuvraj Singh partnership coming up. Don't be a Nasir Hussain and Andrew Flintoff right now, okay? Be very mindful of what's happening here.
Yeah.
So also another urban, I don't know if this is true, but this is an urban legend. So it goes that one of these batsmen, Hamish or James, one of them got a century. And at the end of the day's play, he was very tired. But he had to do the press conference, so the twin brother went instead of him.
Okay.
It is an urban legend. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard it.
Even I've heard about it. I mean, read somewhere this happened.
Okay, so it must be true. And I'm sure you can't exactly figure out who's who. Right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 20. What is significant about Shadab Kabir's ODI career? He scored a century in his only ODI. He scored 350s and never played again. Took 5 catches on debut. Scored 3 ducks in all his 3 ODIs. It's a very, very unique thing about his ODI career.
Not sure.
None of you got it right. In fact, it is he scored 3 ducks in all his 3 ODIs and never played for Pakistan again. All of them in the 1996, in the year 96. Let me tell you another trivia. He also got man of the match in one of the matches, this debut. You know why?
Because of his fielding, maybe?
Because the whole Pakistan team was awarded the man of the match award.
That was interesting.
It was against England at Nottingham in 1996.
Okay.
Right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 21. Zahir Khan and Yuvraj Singh made their international debuts in the same match. One more person made his debut in that match. Who was that? As you can see, Yuvraj and Zahir in that picture. As we know, they made their debut in Kenya. None of you got it right. It was wicketkeeper Vijay Dahiya. Hemang Badani made his debut in the same year, but it was at the Asia Cup in June that year. Later in the year, it was Vijay Dahiya who came in. Hemang Badani was in the squad, but did not play that game.
Okay.
Moving on to the next question. Question number 22. Ashton Agar holds the record for the highest score by a number 11 batsman in tests. How much did he score? Only one person got it right. He got 98.
98.
He was out
I
on
remember
98.
99.
And he also shared a 100+ partnership with Phil Hughes.
That's right. In fact, they
remained unbeaten on 81, I guess.
rescued Australia from terrible shambles, and it was a great test match. England only won by 12 or 13 runs.
Yes. Brad Haddon was the last man to go.
Yes. Right, gentlemen, moving on to question number 23. It will be on your screen right now. Identify this Australian spinner in conversation with Bishan Bedi. You get more. Yeah. The answer is Jason Kreza. Jason Kreza, as we know, took 12 wickets on test debut. played one more test match, and then never played again.
Never. That debut was against India.
Yeah.
Yes.
And his test debut, whose last test was it?
Saurabh Ganguly. He got him out on the first ball in the second innings.
Yes. Got him out, first ball, second innings.
Yes.
Right, gentlemen, moving on to question number 24. Susie Bates has represented New Zealand in which other sport? That too in the Olympics. She's an Olympian, an all-round sportswoman, an absolutely phenomenal cricketer. And if you're playing in the Olympics, oh, everyone misses that. She played for the Tall Ferns, as the New Zealand women's basketball team is called the Tall Ferns, at the 2008 Beijing Olympics.
Yes.
Right. Last question of Power Play 2. Who was the player of the tournament in the first ever ICC World T20 in 2007? You think it's easy. It is easy, but sometimes it could trick you as well. It was Shahid Afridi. Shahid Afridi was the player of the tournament for putting in an all-round performance. Gautam Gambhir was India's highest run scorer.
Yes.
But
In the final.
let me ask you.
Even in the final.
Yeah, let me ask you an interesting question. Who was India's second highest run scorer in the ICC World T20 2007? Audience, this is not a part of your question, but this is just a fact that a lot of people don't remember. Leading run scorer was Gambhir.
I think it was either. I think it was either of Yuvraj Singh or Virender Sehwag.
Manish,
Yuvraj or Rohit?
Yuvraj.
Manish, any guess?
I think it's Yuvraj.
Rohit or Yuvraj?
Well, actually, believe it or not, it was MS Dhoni.
Oh.
MS Dhoni was the second highest run scorer because he got a couple of crucial knocks, remained unbeaten, and also managed to keep his score a little bit higher than Yuvraj. In fact, I think only 6 runs separated them.
Oh, nice.
Right. So there we come to the end of Power Play 2. Now we will have the 3 audience questions which will appear on screen. Question number 4 for the audience will appear on your screen right now. What was Sunil Gavaskar's score in his last test innings? What was Sunil Gavaskar's score in his last test innings? Audience, keep your comments going. The more correct answers you get, the better the chances of you participating. Mahesh had given a clue to this during the Cherry and Timber Talk show just before this. Right, now let us have the next question. Who was the non-striker along with Sachin Tendulkar when he scored the winning runs at Chepauk against England in 2008? A test match that is remembered for all the emotions that the Indian team showed after the Mumbai terror attack. The win was a tribute to the martyrs of that attack. So as we remember, this knock by Sachin Tendulkar. But who was at the other end? Answers are coming in. Good. Now let us have the next question. The last question for the audience. West Indies chased down 418 in 2003 against Australia at Antigua. The highest score chased down in the 4th innings. Ramnaresh Sarwan scored a century. But who scored the second century for West Indies? Please tell me who was the second centurion for the West Indies? Okay, that's it. We've got the audience questions now. I'll have the man who was second in the last quiz. By mistake, I mentioned that he was not, and I don't think I'm going to hear the end of it on our WhatsApp group later. Am I not, Venu?
Hello.
Hi, Venu. Hi.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Yeah, it's
I see that
going down there.
I see that it's a tough contest today.
It is.
So yeah, I hope you guys have oiled your bats well and knocked them well, and using the long handle now with the slog overs coming up. Cool.
Yes.
So yeah, Nishad, it's great going, man. I was following all the questions. I mean, I'm kind of thankful that I'm not in this quiz today because a lot of the questions were really tough, man. So yeah, good on you for creating a mouth-watering contest today. I mean, it's like amazing. So much of knowledge to to be added from a cricketing standpoint for fans. It's amazing.
Thank you so much, Venu. And would you like to declare the slog overs open since you're the master of the slog overs?
Okay, guys, remember, take the game deep, but now is the time to capitalize, get double the points. And Manish, come on, man, bring it on. Bring your A game. You're from Pune. Pune ki laaj rakho.
Thank you, Venu.
Good
Thank
luck,
you.
guys. Good luck.
So this is what the scoreboard looks at the moment. Manish has made a great recovery to get close to 9,000 points. Siddharth is second with 13,658. Bhash is leading the pack with 16,493. Slog overs, gentlemen. You're going to get double the points. Okay, double the points. And there is one picture round, so you'll get also more time to answer the question. Right. Ready, gentlemen?
Yes.
Let's go. Question number 26, double the points. Vinod Kambli represented this overseas team in their domestic tournament. Yes, Vinod Kambli, a batsman we loved watching play. Was it Otago in New Zealand, South Australia in Australia, Boland in South Africa, or Lancashire in England? Everyone has got that right. He played for Boland in South Africa and did quite well, I think so. And it's quite strange, or it's quite a pity that we didn't see a lot of Vinod Kambli for the Indian team after the year 2000. Let's move ahead to question. Right, Manish, you've scored very well in that question. You're into 5 figures now. Moving on to question number 27. Double the points. You'll get 10 extra seconds. Identify this former West Indian Test cricketer who is now a successful musician. He's gone under a complete makeover. Complete makeover. If you look closely, you will definitely get it right. That is right. It is Omari Banks.
Omari Banks, yeah.
Omari Banks is from Anguilla. His father, Banky Banks, is also a musician. He played cricket for the West Indies, 10 test matches, 5 ODIs, including that test match against Australia, where they scored 418. He was at the crease. Him and Vasbert Drakes were at the crease when they won the match.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Let us move on to question number 28. Dale Steyn has acted in a Hollywood movie starring this famous actor. Ben Stiller, Casey Affleck, Jake Gyllenhaal, or Adam Sandler? Only one person got it right. It is Adam Sandler.
Blended. The movie's name was Blended. Yes.
In the movie Blended. Oh, Siddharth has caught up. Now it's going right down to the wire. So what can happen now? All possibilities are there. Like even Manish can catch up, possibly, because you get double the points. And if they get it wrong, he could possibly end up ahead. Now, Bhash and Siddharth, they have a very close contest. We are getting ready for the last two. And incidentally, it is also Dale Steyn's birthday today. So happy birthday to Dale Steyn.
And Kevin Peterson also.
And Kevin Peterson, yes. Moving on to question number 29. Two bowlers have the distinction of bowling the last ball of one World Cup and the first ball of the next World Cup. Who are they? Michael Holding and Glenn McGrath, Wasim Akram and Chaminda Was, Craig McDermott, Nuwan Kulasekara, or Joel Garner and Trent Bolt?
I'm not sure.
Only one person got it right. It is Craig McDermott and Nuwan Kulasekara.
Yes, Kulasekara bowled the last ball of the 2011 World Cup and the first ball of the 2015 World Cup against New Zealand. Yes.
Yes. And Craig McDermott bowled the last ball of the 1987 World Cup and the first ball of the 1992 World Cup.
Yes.
Right. Last question. Siddharth in the lead now. Last question. All to play for. Here we go. Question number 30. The Namibian bowler who dismissed Sachin Tendulkar in 2003 played another World Cup for his country, Namibia. And I must tell you, he played it in the same year in 2003. That's a hint. So which World Cup did he play? 2 World Cups in the same year. Two people got it right. Rugby. Can anyone tell me the name of the bowler?
I think it was Van Buren.
Van Buren.
Yes, it is Rudy Van Buren. And let me tell you a bit about him. The guy is an absolute legend because he's also a doctor. He's also a conservationist. Yeah, he's also a conservationist. His wife is one of the leading conservationists in Namibia. And they have a firm together which runs a big conservation agency. It is also said, I don't know if it is true, but he's also a physician for the president of Namibia. So he's just not good on the field, but even off it. What an interesting personality.
All-rounder in real life.
Yeah. Here are the results. We've got Manish on 11,558 points, Bhash on 20,823, and Siddharth, who's made a recovery. He finishes on 23,330 points. Siddharth, you're the winner. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody, good quizzing. Very well done.
Good one. Yeah.
And
It was great competition. Great competition, yes.
It was great fun. Yes, everyone tried very well. Manish, you made a very good recovery. And I hope the questions were easier than the practice quiz that we had.
I think we all think
I don't know. I really don't know what to
That
say.
quiz
Well,
was
the
easier.
scoring is a lot better. No one scored above 15,000 in that quiz. In fact, I must tell you, in the practice round, Manish got around 16 or 17,000. And the others, the practice round is a much tougher quiz that we do just to get them acquainted with our interface. In fact, Manish topped over there with around 16 or 17,000 points, and the other two were in the 12,000. So, that tells you that when it's your day, it's your day, as India had at the 1983 World Cup final, or any champion has on their day. So, gentlemen, it has been a great pleasure to have you on CricWit episode 2. I hope you had fun.
Yes, it was great fun, great competition, and thank you so much, Nishad. Thank you so much for this. It was too good.
Thank you.
Thank you,
My
Nishad.
pleasure.
I must say, you are the encyclopedia here.
Oh, he is. He is.
Right, before we go, we must answer the audience questions because
Yes.
they should know. How many runs did Pakistan beat India by in that test match in 99 at Chennai? Any of you venture to guess?
13 runs.
You're close. You're right.
17.
It is 12.
12. Oh,
12.
it was 258, and I think the target was 271, I guess. 270 or 271. Yeah.
12 runs.
Question number 2. Who was the catcher who got
Akram.
Sachin Tendulkar?
Wasim.
Wasim Akram. And the bowler was
Nobody
Sachin
can
Tendulkar.
Captain Wasim Akram, yes. Question number 3. Where was this?
Oval.
Oval.
221.
No.
India fell 9 runs short of the target, I guess.
It was a draw, yes, and it was
Oval, yeah.
at the Oval. Question number 4.
96.
Correct. On an
96 in
absolute-
Bangalore. Yeah.
Yes,
Lost to Pakistan actually in that match.
very true. On an absolute minefield of a wicket.
Oh, yeah. Absolute minefield that was.
Right. This one, who was the non-striker?
Yuvraj Singh.
Another great victory for India, chasing down 387. And finally, who scored the second century for the West Indies in that game?
Chandrapal.
Chandrapal.
Who else? Who else from that West Indies team can get a century? Right. Siddharth, congratulations. Bhash,
Thank you.
Manish, very well played. It has been a pleasure. I hope you're having a good time. And yes, everyone, stay home, stay safe. Now we will be announcing who will be participating in the next quiz, and we'll get in touch with you. Cherry and Timber Talk is proud to present CricWit Episode 2, What's Your CQ? I hope we've tested everyone's CQ very well. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, audience. I will be back next week with Cherry and Timber Talk and my great team. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.